The future tense in English describes actions or events that will happen at some point in the future. It most often expresses a prediction, a plan, a promise, or a simple statement of fact about something that is yet to happen. Although there are variations, the future simple is an easy tense because it simply talks about an action or event that will begin and end in the future. The future simple will use an auxiliary verb will with a main verb that is kept in the infinitive form. Sometimes will can be replaced by shall, which has the same meaning but is used in different dialects. But in this video, will is the perfect verb. In the subject-verb agreement, the structure of the future simple will have a subject, the auxiliary verb will, for all subjects, and a main verb in the infinitive form. Essentially, this makes the tense have an easy pattern because it's always the same. Subject plus will plus a main verb in the infinitive form. Some very simple phrases are, I will learn a new language. You will read this text. He will work tomorrow. She will watch that movie. It will rain soon. We will have more information next time. They will have fun later. All verbs in the future simple tense are conjugated the same way, regardless of the subject's number or person. Because there are no conjugations, the auxiliary verb will is the only thing needed to convey that the action takes place in the future. This also means that the main verbs do not require any other modification. This is how simple the future simple is, and as a useful note, this tense also has a contraction with every subject, which is extremely useful in English conversations. To make a contraction, we use an apostrophe, take the last two letters of will, and put them with every subject. I'll learn a new language. You'll read this text. He'll work tomorrow. She'll watch that movie. It'll rain soon. We'll have more information next time. They'll have fun later. While also using time expressions to further indicate that the actions are in the future, all of these sentences are declarative because they state something that is planned. Just like the function of the tense, they show willingness, expectations, and predictions. To indicate that something will not happen, we add a negative word, like not, in between will and the main verb. A subject plus will plus a negative plus the main verb. Some examples are, I will not finish this work. You will not stop the video. He will not quit his progress. She will not tell us anything. The package will not arrive in time. In this case, we shouldn't use subject contractions with a negative because it will sound too awkward. Instead, English has a different contraction to make the flow of conversation better, and that is won't. Won't is contracted from will not, and it's very practical in conversations. I won't finish this work. You won't stop the video. He won't quit his progress. She won't tell us anything. The package won't arrive in time. When asking a question in the future simple, will comes first, followed by the subject and then the main verb. Will plus the subject plus a main verb. Will I go to the movies? Will you stay at home? Will he wash the dishes? The responses can be affirmative with the subject contractions or negative with negative contractions. Interestingly, the meaning of the future simple can be expressed in a different way that doesn't require the auxiliary verb will. Another common form of this tense uses the phrase be going to. This construction is similar to will because it also shows actions or events that will begin and end in the future. But it's generally informal and conversational. Be going to is more likely to be used when someone emphasizes a decision that they're making in the present, while will is more common for a state of fact about the future. The pattern is also similar. A conjugation of be that will fit the subject, going to, and then the main verb. To make learning simple, let's reuse some of the previous examples. I am going to learn a new language. You are going to read this text. He is going to work tomorrow. She is going to watch that movie. We are going to have more information next time. They are going to have fun later. In this case, subject contractions work perfectly because we're using to be. For a negative sentence, the pattern is a subject plus be plus not plus going to plus a main verb. You are not going to stay at home. This phrase can also have a separate subject contraction and a negative contraction. To make a question, the pattern is be plus a subject plus going to plus the main verb. Is he going to wash the dishes? Moreover, it's possible to combine the future simple with the continuous, thus making the future continuous. This tense expresses that an action or event will be progressing at a specific time in the future, and that it will begin and then be ongoing, indicating that something will be happening over time, rather than a single event. In the subject-verb agreement, the auxiliary verb will be used with the infinitive of be, followed by the main verb in the present participle form. A subject plus will plus be plus a present participle, which is an infinitive with ing. Some examples with vital time expressions are I will be boarding the plane by the time you read this letter. They will be living in a new city after next week. He will be building his home by next July. Likewise, it's possible to rewrite every sentence to emphasize the word order. And as always, contractions can be made. This is how the future simple tense fully works in English.